of you have already given us answers for the English thing there. That's the Q&A box. So if you just have a little look, if you haven't familiarised yourself with the Go webinar software, just have a little look around and look for the box where it says type questions and answers here, and go into there, and that's where you can send us messages, send us questions, answers, anything you need. If you don't want your name to be mentioned, just let us know when you send us a question. Or alternatively, here's the other method of contacting us, which is the chat box. The chat box is really good because you can send us private messages, no one else can see them. You send us an answer in there and you're not too sure about it, we won't read your name out loud, so we'll just keep all that kind of anonymous and stuff. If you're Sophina's going to type something in the chat soon. If you need to message her, just click on her name and then you can send a message through to her. The only other tool I'd just like to mention as well is the hands up. If you just have a little look towards the top of your software, you'll see a little raised hand tool. It'll look like a hand outline, like a hand, but it's not filled in or anything. Everyone just have a little look for the hand up, raised hand tool. And once you find that tool, could we just get a hand up on everyone, just click it once for us. And we should notice that everyone's hands should start going up. This is the way we show that everyone's happy with the content and they're ready to move on and stuff like that. That's fantastic. We've got a lot of hands up there, way more than half the hands up there. So thank you for hands up. So what I'll do is, once we've had all the hands up, I've got a little button here, which I press, that lowers all the hands are back down, and then we're ready to go on to the next question. It tells me and Bob that you're ready to move on. The only other thing worth mentioning is polls, but you'll see them as we kind of go on. I think there's one after this slide also, so you're going to see a poll in a minute anyway. So yeah, I'm going to hand over to Bob in a sec. English PowerUp, descriptive writing is what we're going to be doing today. I'm Bob, so I'm out for that. So Bob, do you want to take us away on this, mate?
Right, thanks very much, Bruce. Welcome everybody. Right, in the hour and 20 odd minutes we've got left, I want to go through as deeply as I can in the time ways of improving your descriptive writing, which is where the big marks are in your final question in your GCSE English language paper. There's lots of little different techniques we can look at, but mainly what I want to try and do is improve your confidence or self-confidence that you can definitely write more imaginatively and better than you probably think you can.
You did.
So that's what we're going to be concentrating on in the next pieces. Do we need to do this, Bruce, or have we got plenty of people?
Yeah, do you know what, actually, Bob, we'll actually have a quick go, because anyone's done a perfect cycle before. We're just going to do this 30 seconds, just really quick, just to see if anyone's actually familiar with us before. So, right on the poll, it comes up on your screen, and you can just simply click on the different options to just tell us your answer. This is all anonymous, so we can't see who has clicked on which one. We'll be using this as well to check how well we're doing. Right, so we've got 81% no, 19% 1 to 2, no one's done 3 or more, so we'll just leave it at that point. We'll get started. Most people have done, but maybe a fifth of them have done one, so
okay.
That's where we're at.
Okay. Right. Do you need to go through that as well?
Yeah, this basically just saying, you can use more than one device on the webinar at the same time, so if you find it easier to have an iPad or a laptop and a computer or whatever combination, you can log in from multiple places at the same time. You need to have a chat on one or the other. Different people find it easier to do it in different ways. So yeah, just making you aware that you can log in more than one place at a time.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I want to put it out there now. To how many have we got, Bruce? How many people?
We've got 32. Yeah, 32. So
like a nice class size or a big class size. I want to put it out there to anybody. What can you tell me you think the purpose of writing is? In any writing at all. Doesn't have to be books or anything. Anything where there's a written word for someone to read. What is the purpose of it?
So why would we write anything at all? Just give us some ideas in the Q&A for us, please.
It's not a trick, by the way.
Right, so Lily said to express your thoughts.
Great, that's what we're going to be looking at today. Well done, Lily. Yeah.
To provide ideas on what's going on for Chloe.
Yeah, again, Chloe. Excellent answer.
We've got communication from Millie.
Yeah, that's nice and short. Probably about as short as you can get. One word, communication. We use words to communicate, don't we? Obviously, we use our voices, but if if something is written down, it's communicating something to us. It could be something as bland as a road traffic sign. You know, Coventry 2 miles that way. It's imparting information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I was just saying, you could have a stop sign just as simple as one word on the stop.
Just one word. Yeah, halt or stop. It's imparting information. But sometimes in life, we want more than information. There's, I think it was Chloe, Lily, that said something about, remind me, what did she say?
To express your thoughts.
Express your thoughts, express your imagination. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So we're going beyond the simple, if you like, the utilitarian. That's the day today. And we're looking at ways that can really impress your examiner. Because when push comes to shove in the exam, that's a metaphor, we'll be using them. Your job is to impress the examiner. All right? So I've got two things on the board here. They both say pretty much the same thing. Someone said imparting information. They impart information. Number one says, my dog's fur felt like gorgeous silk against my skin and had gloss black colouring shone, absorbing the sunlight and reflecting it back like a pure dark mirror. Number two says, I like my dog's fur because it's black and soft. They both say the same thing, but just out there to you 32, which one do you think is the best? But most importantly, why?
Why? So,
yeah,
that's the key point there. Just let us know why.
Just write this in the chat or the answer, please. Just type the number 1 or 2.
Oh, no, just tell us why as well, though, please.
Yeah.
A little bit of...
Yeah, okay, I was going to just pick first and then ask them to tell us why.
Nah, Sophina, they can tell us why. Come on, get some answers out. So it's okay, because, you know, we've got to be looking at the type of language that's getting used, haven't we, really? Stuff like
I think
that.
Wesley kind of gave it away before as well. Wesley's told us.
Hey, we're getting some good answers, though, you know, Bob.
Yeah. Anyone got anything specific?
Yeah, so, right, I'll give you some out now, right? Number one is one when number 2 is simple and short. So I think actually someone's saying number 2 is actually, to be fair. We've got another one that says we prefer number 1 because it holds the most information on why and what.
Right, okay, yeah. So what we're looking there specifically at information, not just the info. Okay, nothing wrong with that at all. If you unpack a new gadget or something, you know, you don't want your instruction book to read like a novel or a comic book or something. You want nice, clear, concise information, don't you? Okay, good.
Yeah. We've got the first one because it paints an image.
Ah, there we go. There's another word. Now we're going a bit beyond information, aren't we? It paints an image. Or where is that image? In our head, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if it's in our head, it's unique to you. No one else has got that. No one. Okay?
We've got one because it's very detailed and descriptive and uses a range of language techniques.
Who said that, Bruce?
That's Joanne.
Hello.
Well done, Joanne. Descriptive. You remember at the beginning we said this is going to be about descriptive writing and uses language techniques. We're going to get on to a lot of that. I'm going to stop it there because the answer I said, which is the best one, there isn't an answer. There's no correct answer. It might be that you want something which is just concise information. That's perfectly fine. Right? If you're trying to entertain, if you're trying to get that image into someone's mind, in other words, if you're writing to impress, then I would suggest you're probably going to go for something like that. And it's got, well, I'll go on to language techniques, but it's got language techniques in there. It's got adjectives. And adjectives will get you marks.
We like marks, don't we, Bob?
Definitely like marks. When you're doing descriptive writing, you will need adjectives. I would say it's impossible to write a descriptive piece without adjectives. All right? So, you know, if you say, how was your holiday? It was great. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's sort of like this sort of thing. If you say, it was wonderful, it was superb, the food was absolutely delicious, it's one adjective. The beach was miles and miles of soft white sand, 2 adjectives, and so forth and so forth. More description is going to get you more marks, always. So I'll move on from that. Thank you for the input. Oh, we're on to tasks. Right. On this task, you list as many features of good writing as you can think of. Now, the word good obviously is subjective. That means it's what we decided to mean. Oh, no, I've got to try and find mine. Okay. How many features of good writing can you think of? No right or wrong answers in this again.
So, how many language features, how many features of good writing can you think of?
For instance, if I was to say bad spelling, I would suggest that's probably not a feature of good writing. So try and think of some good things that an examiner would like. Couple of minutes for this.
Hey guys, good. Give us some good writing techniques or features. Put in the chat. Don't want everyone to see. You can write private as well. Any questions? Let us know.
Yeah.
Features of writing.
It's good to see all the answers coming into the Q&A. Thank you. Just keep it coming.
Complex sentences. That's one, Bob.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? Complex sentences.
Chloe,
Who's that, Sophia?
Chloe, well done, Chloe.
Chloe, can she tell us what she means by that?
Chloe, let us know what you mean by complex sentences. Just expand a little bit on that, please, for us.
So we could do, like, does anyone want to come on and talk to us and talk us through something? Because at the moment everyone's muted because we have to keep everyone muted to stop it from having loads of noise in the background at the same time. But is anyone willing to come on the microphone and talk us through a few techniques or something? Good, like, any features?
Chloe, if you would like to talk, well, sentences with the use of commas and in-depth descriptions.
Yeah, that's a very good answer. So,
okay, go.
This is to anybody out there who actually reads for enjoyment, and hopefully there's some of you, whether it's sort of teenage fiction or Harry Potter or anything like that. What do you want out of your books? What makes you pick it up?
So what makes you pick a book up? Like, what makes you want to read that when you see it?
Look at Bruce's expressions in his face.
What?
I can tell Bruce. Writing is all, isn't it, Bob? All about deep thoughts.
Deep thoughts,
Writing. Thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So we said they needs to be interesting, needs to keep you drawing in.
That's it. That's the word I was looking for, whoever said that. Interesting.
Interesting.
When you're doing this question this time next year in your GCSE, you ideally need to make your writing interesting because, believe it or not, examiners are human too, and if they're reading something that's interesting, they will be inclined to start raising your marks. Okay.
Enjoy reading.
Yeah, well, you enjoy it as well if it's interesting. Yeah.
But if you want to come on the mic and talk to us, you can. Put your hands up, raise your hand, and then Bruce will let you in. And we can listen to your voices. It's nice to listen to some voices.
Okay, I think Millie will come on. Hello, Millie.
Hello, Millie. Welcome.
No.
No? None?
No, that wasn't a hands up to come on. I don't think that's it, Dina. It's okay.
Anyone got their hands up, want to come on and talk to us about writing? Let us know. Don't be shy, please. They're all nice people.
Yeah, it's helpful for Bob as well to get interaction from the learners as well. So, let us know. Chloe, are you coming on?
Chloe,
let's try Chloe.
Hands up.
Hello, Chloe.
Hi, Chloe. You might.
Or Robert. Let's try Robert then. Hello, Robert.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Robert. Hi, mate. You okay?
Hi, Robert.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Robert gets 2 points for coming on. Well done.
Thank you.
He gets an extra point for the same name as me, so well done, Robert.
Oh,
Well,
okay, go
I
on.
was going to say, I'm a teacher, actually. I'm not a student, so just to...
Oh, right, okay. I'll just remove that last patronising comment then, sir.
I was thinking, how do you start with genre, audience, purpose? What you're writing for and why?
Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
Right, I'm going to put one in there for you because someone mentioned it in the last bit, language techniques or descriptive techniques. All right. I actually finished a fascinating book about the secret history of eye tests. It was eye-opening. It really was.
Here they are. Here they start. I did warn everyone. I thought it was one. Oh, that was a good one.
Thank you, Mr. Bragg. Gives a very good reason about what, yeah, really good.
Okay, so let's have a look. Writing correctly for form, purpose, and audience. So, Sir told us that one, didn't he? Form, purpose, and audience. In your exam, they will tell you this. That's what's so good about a lot of English exams. A, as far as your imagination is concerned, you can't be wrong. And B, they will tell you what they're looking for. All right, so it will tell you the audience, it will tell you what form they'll ask you to write in, whether it's a letter, email, article, etc., and why you're doing it. Okay. Interesting. That came up, didn't it? Interesting points and ideas. Seduce the examiner. Make them like you.
Oh.
Write in paragraphs. Very important. All right. I mean, that's one thing that we certainly won't be able to teach you in the time we've got this afternoon. But split your text up into blocks, right, of paragraph writing. So if you're changing the location, changing the character, changing the point of view, etc., you need to open a new paragraph. Range of language features, we're going to look in more detail at that. Discourse markers, connectives or conjunctions, things that you can join sentences together, a bit like Lego bricks that hold sentences together. Somebody mentioned complex sentences. So we're going to be using ways you don't want to write 3 or 4 word sentences. I went on holiday. It was good. There was a beach. It was hot. I swam in the sea. The food was nice. You get the idea. That is definitely not interesting. All right. So discourse markers, expand your sentences.
Too much I's in that. I.
Yeah. Most definitely. Yeah.
You repeat too many things. Don't try not to use too much repetitive words. Is that right, Bob?
Definitely. Vary your vocabulary, which fits into what Sabina said. So, I mean, if you say it was nice, there's got to be a dozen better words you can use.
That's the words that you probably use instead of nice. Never.
Pleasant,
Nice
enjoyable.
Not really a good word to use in your exam answers, is it really? I mean, of course, you can't figure nothing else, or the word nice is the word that you need to use in that sentence. Sometimes it is just a word, but try and avoid excessive use of the word nice in your answers.
Sometimes I find that, if you're stuck for a word like that, try to ask yourself the question silently in your head. If you're talking about, if we get there, we'll look at a beach scene. There's a descriptive piece of writing there. Why was the beach nice? Because the sand was nice. Okay, but why was it nice? It felt soft. Okay, so there's a word. We can put soft. Think of another word for soft. Yeah, think of some similes we could use there. It's as soft as a duvet, perhaps, or something. And all of a sudden, you've expanded that. That's more interesting. But we'll get on to that. Vary your punctuation. Somebody mentioned commas and things, but there are plenty of other things you could use. Be careful with your exclamation marks. You're not texting a mate. You're not putting 3 or 4 exclamation marks to make a point. Sentence forms. Someone mentioned complex sentences. Mix and match them about. We'll have a look at some examples a little bit later. Give your writing a lot more impact and a lot more interest. Punctuation. And try to keep to standard English and grammar. We did one of these on Monday, and a little bit of writing that somebody did was really good. But he used this word in his written answer. What that means?
Kind of like that.
You kind of like it. Yeah. We all say it. You know, that's how we speak. Yeah. Did you like your dinner? Kinda.
Everyone does it, don't they, Bob?
They do it. Yeah.
It's about breaking that, like, boundary between, like, the text talk kind of thing and the back to proper English, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So try and keep to standard English. All right. I mean, if you start writing in a lot of slang, you will lose marks. Okay, do we need to do this?
Let's see. Yeah, we'll have this. How many features did we have? Got that there. Have a quick poll there. Should be on the screen there now. Click on this to vote. How did we do on this? How many features did we come up with? I don't have an option for 0. Everyone should have one. Right. So, Bob, we've got a split between the first 2 options at the minute, with 40% on the last one. Okay. 65% of voters. Can we get anyone else to vote? We'll just have this open for like 10 more seconds or something. Try and get as many votes in as we can. Here, 68% votes. Okay, I think we'll leave it there then. Mostly Bob, 50% on 5 to 8 anyway. 30% on 1 to 4 and 13 on the 9 plus anyway. So we'll get my comment off.
Okay. Right, so let's have a look. Quickly, we'll try and see how many language techniques we can think of. There are some missing letters there. Just a couple of minutes. If you can't get all of them, it doesn't matter. Let's see between all of us if we can't get most of them.
Yeah, right. So between all of us, of course, there's 33 of you here. So just try and start throwing your answers into the Q&A, so that when we go through with Bob, we can just start taking them out. It doesn't have to be in order. Say if you know like the last 3 or you got the first one, that's fine. Just pop them in there for us, somewhere for us to see. Yeah, thank you. Or just have a little think while we're going through this now. If anyone would like to come on to go through some of them with us on the microphone, it'd be great to hear from some of you. Oh, Bob, you should see the Q&A right now. It is filling up. Good. It is filling up.
We've got Millie's hands up. Maybe she wants to come on audio.
Millie? You can try Millie. I think Millie's self-muted though, Sophie and I tried before. So, if she'd like to come on herself, if she'd like to.
Millie, if you want to speak, just unmute yourself and we can hear you.
Anyone really, if anyone would like to.
Anyone, yeah, everyone. I'd love to hear some more voices, guys. The last course we've just done, I had literally about 8 to 9 people on my list, like they're all chatting, and it was great interaction. Nice to hear.
Points on your list, Sophia?
Sorry?
You're getting points on your list.
In comparison with the last course, I've got less points, so I want more people and more points.
Yeah. I need answers now.
Bob, Sophia, you need to go through the techniques.
Come on, guys.
Alright, Bob. So the first one that we've actually got there is facts and statistics, and that's from Lily. Thank you, Lily.
Well done, Lily. Yeah. Facts and statistics. If you're writing a piece and you can put some facts and statistics in, it gives it more truthfulness to the reader. Yeah. In your exam, within reason, you can make these up, but make them believable. So if you're writing a piece about, let's say you've got to write a letter to your local council asking for a road crossing by your school. So you can make up some facts and statistics. You can say last year the police reported 14 accidents within a 100-metre stretch of the school. So you can make it up. You're allowed to make it up, but it gives it a certain truthfulness to your piece. Yeah. What else we got?
Right, so the next one that we've got is SIMILE from Wesley.
Yeah, SIMILE is one of the most common and easy to use.
Thanks, Wesley. Good answer today. Right, okay, we've got Joanne there, we've got two here. We're going to have from Bob, we've got triples and hyperbole.
Oh, nice. Okay. Triples, I mean, sometimes called rule of three, gives emphasis to your writing.
I mean, still have another one, but I'm going to leave it to someone else as well. Yeah, hyperbole as well, Bob, yeah?
Yeah, or exaggeration. Yeah. I mean, personally, I think the exaggeration is the best thing in the world. Oh, no.
Right. Brooke's got a rhetorical question for us.
Yeah. Rhetorical questions doesn't require an answer. It's a good way when you're writing to open your writing up to talk about what you want to talk about. For instance, why do we do online teaching? Well, you've asked yourself the question. We can go on and then explain what we have to say. Right, let's do a couple more because I'm thinking at a time.
Right, okay, so we've got metaphors.
Yeah.
From Chloe again. So it's flipping Chloe this time. Right, Chloe. We've got short sentences again from Lily.
Yep.
Repetition from Joanne.
Good.
Emotive language.
Nice one. Emotive language. Make the reader feel what you want them to feel.
Alliteration.
Yeah. And we've got two left.
Personification.
Yeah.
From Faith, thank you. And let's see, I'm just trying to look for the last one then.
I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. Contrast.
There we go. We're going to jump on it, everyone.
Yeah, we're going to be having a look at that. Contrast. Contrast is very important when you're doing your sort of descriptive writing. Okay. Well done, everyone. Doing it?
No, we don't need to do that, mate.
Okay. So there we go. So we look at contrast, and there's a classic example, rich, poor. Those of you who might be struggling with contrast as a theme, think of the last Hollywood blockbuster movie you saw, or any film actually, and I'll almost guarantee that the characters will have a contrast. Because when you have a contrast, you have drama. When you have drama, the word dramatic speaks for itself. That's where we get drama from. It's interesting. So you think of all your Hollywood films where if there's like two characters, there'll be different. Perhaps one's male, one's female. Perhaps one's brand new cop, and the other one's an old, crusty cop. One's excitable, and one's boring, and so forth and so forth. There's loads. So someone give me another one.
Right, so Jacob's actually given us a good question here. He said, is contrast like a juxtaposition?
Is it what, sorry?
Is a contrast like a juxtaposition?
Can be, yeah. It can be. To juxtapose means to offer up two contrasting points. So, for instance, if you were writing a story about a privileged son or daughter of a millionaire, and they suddenly get stranded in a refugee camp, that's a juxtaposition, or also a contrast. So you can imagine how you could make an interesting story out of that, can't you?
Yeah. So we've got
make an interesting story out of a refugee in a refugee camp. You've got much more drama about having a privileged rich person all of a sudden finding himself in a situation like that.
Oh yeah, you would actually, wouldn't you? You got a far better.
There's a famous film from the 80s called Trading Places, which very much does that. Look it up.
Trading Places from the 80s, right? So some contrast that we've got here, we've got black and white from Wesley, we've got in and out from Joanne, and up and down from Joanne. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, they are, if you like, physical positions up and down, in and out. But certainly black and white, if you've got two characters, one's black, one white, then you've got that contrast. You can play with that idea. You can put more descriptive power into that. Right, there's a simile for you. That's from a famous poem, you may or may not know. Someone else give me another simile, please.
We got a simile in the Q&A for us, please. Quick example.
Quick as a flash. Quick as a flash.
Quick as a flash. There you go. One so far. Red as blood, Jacob said.
Yeah, red as blood.
Dance like a tree in the wind from Faith.
Oh, we'll get on to that one.
Oh.
Yeah, that you've hit 2 for 1 there. You got a 2 for 1 deal. But yep, anything with as or like.
That's I know what that's getting to, Bob. That's getting towards the word in P, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But we've got another one there, as fast as a cheetah, which is a good one.
Yeah, it's amazing how often that one comes up. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're making a comparison, right? You know, you've been told this at school. I know you have. Sort of as or like. Right. Examiners do like it when you use similes. They love it if it's an original one. You make your own one up.
Right.
Okay. It's not as difficult as you think. Remember I said at the beginning, it's down to confidence. Have self-confidence. Maybe write something personal. I mentioned this the other day. I'll very quickly say it again. When I was about 11, I remember we had to read parts of stories out in class in those days, pre-IT, Lionhearted. Hopefully you can remember what the difference is between. Okay, personification. I think we had a little bit of that earlier, Bruce, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got a little bit of personification coming through there. Let me try and see if I can find this again. If not, try and pop some personification. If it dance like a tree in the wind, because we use the word dance like a tree.
Okay, so yeah, I think you all probably know what this is. You know, giving human characteristics to other objects, quite often natural objects. So could someone come up with another one? We had dancing like a tree in the wind. So.
Get another one in the Q&A for us, please. Any ideas? Personification? Or, let's see, lightning danced across the sky?
Yeah, like that one. I got the word danced again, but yeah, lightning danced across the sky. Especially after the storms the other night. Yeah.
We've got one here. My alarm clock yelled violently on my that one.
Yeah, who said that? That's excellent.
Joanne said that one. Good answer.
Yeah, I like that. Because you used one word there, yelled. Now, if we were to analyse that, if we have more time, we could analyse that to great depth. You know, yelled is aggressive, it's noisy, unsettling. This is just me thinking as, and that's just from one word. Now, an alarm clock, does it wake you up gently? No, it's all of these things. So what you've done, you've used one word with personification, and you've opened up that whole image again. We're back to the word image or imagery.
Yeah. Oh, Bob, there's another answer there which quite like to look up as well.
What's that?
It's the sun. It's quite simple, but it's quite effective as well. The sun smiled down on me. I think it's quite effective because saying the sun smiled is using alliteration, it's using personification. Yeah. And also as well, it's interesting because the sun can be described in many ways. You know, you can say the sun was taken down or do something like that. But by saying smiling down, it's setting a happy tone to whatever piece of life
it is. It is. I mean, you don't have to go into great in-depth description by using that. Look, without thinking too deeply into it, we think the sun is a benefit to us. It's a friendly thing. But imagine you're living sort of in the Sahara region and you're trying to grow some crops. All of a sudden, I don't think the sun would be smiling down on you. It's probably not the word you'd use. Yeah, maybe you'd use that. Maybe the sun yell at you. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's up to you. That's all part of your descriptive writing. Okay, here we've got a bit of emotive language. An innocent young man suffered a catastrophic head injury when a vicious thug launched his ferocious, unprovoked attack. Okay, so it's about this person. Do we have any sympathy for him? I'll ask you.
Remember, there is no right or wrong answer. You know,
No wrong answer. Do we have sympathy for him?
Pop it in the Q&A. Sarah said yeah.
Okay, can I ask Sarah then specifically, can I ask why we have sympathy with?
You want to come on the chat, Sarah, and talk to us, you can.
Yeah, please, Sarah, it'd be nice. It's easier to talk to a voice.
Yeah, and typing. Your choice.
Well, Chloe, do you want to come on to talk to us to give us some answers?
Because we feel the pain and how he feels. Sarah said because you can feel his pain.
Yeah.
And how he feels. And who else we got? Brooke said yes because he is innocent.
Good. So the first word we see here is innocent. And generally speaking, it's a motive language. That's language that gives you the emotion. That is the power of descriptive writing. Someone that you've never met and probably will never ever meet in your life, perhaps someone like J.K. Rowling, has sat down somewhere, perhaps in a different country, written something that lodges itself in your head and creates a unique image. Now, you've got to admit, that's power.
It is, yeah.
And if it's like that bit of descriptive writing I told you about the mountain, it's something that stayed with me all my life so far. So that is power. So we know he's an innocent young man, so already we want to sympathise. That's what it says. But what other words in there are emotive?
All the words in this bit of text here is emotive. Just let us know in the...
He's hurt his head. That's not particularly emotive, is it?
Chloe said she'd come on to talk, but she's not sure if Mike's working. Should we get a little call there, Chloe? Yeah, Chloe, I'll take you off mute to see if you can hear you or not. Hello? Hello, Chloe? I suppose not, Bob.
Oh, what a shame. Anybody else?
What a shame.
Oh.
Anybody else want to stick their head above the parapet? There's my metaphor.
Oh, Bob. It's not even look like it today.
That's such a shame, isn't it? We've got 32 people and no one wants to speak.
The ones that want to speak don't have mic problems.
Oh, okay. All right. But there's less learning in me explaining it rather than you telling me. But let's have a look. We know he's innocent, so we're already thinking we're going to sympathise with him. So if we cut that right down, it says, a young man suffered a head injury after an attack. That's not very emotive. But he didn't just suffer a head injury, he suffered a catastrophic head injury. That word means about as bad as you can possibly get. Catastrophic. It's not a mild, it's not even a bad head injury. It's catastrophic. Which makes me think that this person is never going to be the same again. Right? Well, I would suggest most thugs are vicious, but we've put a nice adjective in there. It's a vicious thug. He launched his unprovoked attack, but what sort of unprovoked attack was? It was ferocious. So we've got 1, 2, 3 highly emotive words in there. Highly emotive. So if you're writing to get a response, an emotional response from someone, if you want someone to feel sympathy for your character, if you want someone to despise your character, think about using some emotive language.
Sarah said suffers as well. Suffers.
Suffered, yeah. Well, most people who've been attacked, I suppose, would suffer, but we
Sarah mentioned that in her
by
chat.
putting that word in there, catastrophic, we know that this has been a bad attack. But thank you, Sarah. Alliteration, I think you all, I'm guessing now, you all probably know what that is. It's just some advertising slogans. It's a great way to remember things. It makes things memorable. All right, I'm not going to go on any more about that. Short sentences. We rounded the corner. He was there. Hunched and oozing menace. All right, can someone tell me why we would use short sentences like that?
What would make us all...
Pardon?
Sorry, Bob.
I can say, would we use short sentences like that to tell the reader the whole picture?
Good. That's a really good response. Joanna said to create suspense. Lucy said to create tension. Jacob said to get the point across and hook a reader.
Great.
Jane said it draws the readers in. Lily said it's amazing stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Well done.
All of those are good. Those of you who didn't struggle a little bit with that, try to remember what you've just heard from your colleagues there. It's a great way of hooking the reader. It's a great way of creating tension. It's also a great way of relieving tension. You know, you could, I mean, certainly in Hollywood, anyone who likes horror films, certainly in film drama, in horror, do you know what the scariest thing in film horror is? It's not the best makeup showing a gory head or eyes falling out or ghosts or anything like that. The scariest thing is a closed door.
Yeah. Well, certainty.
If you hide behind that door, Bob, we'll be scared, won't we?
Unless it's made of glass, Safina. It has to be solid.
Solid full door.
Yeah.
Hide behind the door, make us scared.
A closed door, because then the writer of descriptive power is building up the tension.
Yeah.
At some point, you've all seen it on a million films, haven't they? It's normally teenagers, haven't they? Called Chad and Brad. You know, they decided to hang out in this haunted house. That would be a great idea. Yeah.
It's kind of allowing the viewer or the audience to make up their own thoughts.
Yeah.
And
You're building tension.
Giving
You're
them that.
building the tension up. And then when they open that door, the tension's gone.
Have you read this here, Bob? Yes.
Five people.
Dramatic irony.
Dramatic.
Dramatic irony. Yeah, of course. Of course, yeah. Because we know, as the reader or the viewer, something that the participants, the protagonists, don't. So that is pretty much dramatic irony.
You know when you told us a story about the boy on the mountain, Bob, you did that. You created a bit of curiosity there. We all wondering what's going to happen next, and you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can imagine in the actual story. I can't remember anything else about it, but you can imagine him saying how slippery it was underfoot, what the view looked like down into off the mountainside, how scary it was, how nervous he was, how he was hanging on, etc. And then suddenly my leg gave way.
Creating suspense.
Five words with one comma. Really powerful short sentence. So those that come up with those words and tension and everything, excellent. So
the examiners like that. Examiners like
they love it. Examiners will notice if you've mixed and matched your sentences for effect. They will notice. It's very easy to write, an adequate piece using just compound sentences. So in other words, a couple of clauses joined by a connective. I walked along the beach and the sun shone brightly on my back. Compound sentence, not particularly interesting. You mix and match it around, stick some subordinate clauses in there, expand the sentences, shorten them, even have one word sentence in there, like stop.
Oh, I suddenly saw something.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Do you know what? I'm not going to do this task, Bruce, if that's all right with you. I'm going to do it on the board here.
I don't think he can hear you.
Sorry, Bob.
Okay, Bruce, I'm not going to do this task. I'm just going to do it on the board.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool.
Okay. Right, because we've gone through this. We've got contrast, short sentences, alliteration. We didn't talk about repetition, but again, that is for emphasis. Quite often, you're repeating either one word or a phrase of words. Going back to my school days, this is why I'm psychologically.
When was this, Bob? All them years ago.
No.
It was when the world was black and white, Bruce.
Black and white, mate, yeah.
Colour wasn't invented till the 1960s. The whole world.
We didn't have lockdown then, Bob, did we?
Yeah. Well, we did. My parents wouldn't let me out, but I remember at school as a teenager asking the prettiest girl in the class whether she'd go out with me, and she said, "Not now, not in the future, not ever."
She's lost out there.
Brutal, that, Bob.
That has impact, doesn't it?
Does it have an impact, Bob, yeah?
I said, well, I'll let you make up your mind and get back to me.
Her loss, Bob, her loss.
Thank you very much, Sophia. So, rhetorical questions. What the hell was up with her?
Oh, yeah, good.
Okay, so we've done that, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. So that's why I didn't want to spend too much time on that. But if you can, you know, when you're in the run-up to your English exam next year, try to find the mnemonic, like pair forest or a forest or whatever one you use, as a way of trying to remember as many language features as you can. And then think of it like a toolkit. It's a simile. Think of it like a toolkit and try to use as many, in fact, a better one would be ingredients in a cake. Try to use as many of those ingredients in your answer as you can. All right? Put them in there. Going back to the closed door in a spooky house. You could start with, what were we thinking? You could open it with that. Immediately, the reader's thinking, about what? You
Yeah,
follow with another rhetorical question.
Like
What were we thinking? Why on earth, on Halloween night, did we think it would be a good idea to go down to the old ruined house and whatever, make out, as they say in California?
But is it Chad and that again, this Bob?
Anyone?
This is Chad again, isn't it?
It's Chad and Brad.
Chad and Brad?
Chad,
Alright.
Chad and Brad. Yeah, with Jolene and Miley.
Alright.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not supposed to be writing this descriptive stuff. You are. Okay, do we need to do that?
Yeah, we'll just do a really quick one. We're just going to have literally about 30, not even 30 seconds, 20 seconds. Just a quick little vote on this. How are we getting on with this? Are we doing good? Are we doing perfect getting there? We've not really got a clue. Be honest with us, this is anonymous. We can't see both which one, so bear that in mind when you're doing your votes. So we've got 70% vote. Can we get a few more? That's little 10 seconds there. So at the moment, Bob, we've got an almost 50 split between perfect and getting there. So we have 55% perfect now. So yeah, I think we're okay. No one's on, not a clue anyway. So
Okay, good.
if anyone needs anything, message, put it in the Q&A and we can go through it anyway.
It's very difficult for me, especially remotely in the time we've got, to try and give you confidence to express yourself in your writing. But, you know, you've got a whole year of creative writing tasks until your exam. Use that to experiment. Try different things. You know, try writing in the first person, try writing in the third person. You know, you can get it off the internet. You can find these mnemonics, the lists of all these language techniques. Just have a go at trying to put them in. See how easy it is to slot them into your narrative. Your teachers will be impressed. I tell you now, they will definitely be impressed.
Definitely, yeah.
Anyway, so we want to make it interesting. We've got the techniques, if you like, the ingredients to the cake. So let's make this cake taste nice, to expand this metaphor until it's screaming with pain. Senses, thoughts and feelings. This comes back to the emotive language. I've got so much admiration for writers of different abilities, actually, that don't even have to be acknowledged as particularly brilliant authors. But the power to take something from their imagination, put that down or get that down onto a printed page, and then impart senses, thoughts and feelings into someone else's mind. And we talked about this, I think, on Monday, about, well, let's ask, Harry Potter fans out there, just a quickly show of hands.
Hands up if you think of your life in Harry Potter. Yeah. We got a few here. Oh yeah, we've got quite a few here actually, you know, Bob.
Good. Okay. Can I ask those people how many actually read the books?
So I'm going to put the hands down there and I'll put your hands back up if you read them rather than just watching them. Oh, there we go. So we've got a few there. Got about five. So
right.
There, Bob.
And of those people, how many prefer the books to the film?
Right, so I'm going to load with the hands one more time. Put your hand back up if you prefer the book over the film. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3. Yeah, pretty good then, Bob. So it's 3 out of the 5 people who read the books prefer the books over the film.
Right. Can I ask, if someone's brave enough, please, just to tell me why? Why do they prefer the book to the film?
And just let us know in the Q&A, why do you prefer the book over the film? It's interesting to know. Maybe the film's missed out on a great deal of plot, Jessica said.
Good, because if you think about it, it might take you, I don't know, 2 weeks to read the book, but you've got to watch the film in 1 hour, 40 minutes or whatever. So, yeah, they do have to condense it down.
Jessica said they helped out with the characterization.
Right.
Because, you know, having the extra plot in the book helped out with the characterization.
Okay, I would say that if you read the book, and I'm just speaking for myself here, I suppose, if you read the book, that book and those characters are yours. They're unique to you. They're in your head. When you see the film, that's gone through someone else's head, which is then put onto the screen. And I would suggest if you read the book first and then see the film, when you try to envision the characters again, you'll probably think of the visual representation.
Right. So it like overwrites the image of what we've already got from the book.
Yeah, it's like someone else's imagination. So senses, thoughts and feelings are yours. And going back to what we said at the beginning, they can't be wrong. This is not maths or science, where you can be very badly wrong. You cannot be wrong. If you feel, you'll do this next year when you do unseen poetry and things, if you feel that a poem is about death, and everyone else in the class thinks it's about life, and you can say, in good English, why you think it's about death, you are right.
Yeah.
Give yourself confidence in that. All right? So, we're going to be looking at if you can write about people's senses. What do they feel? What are they thinking? Again, if we had more time, we could look into that. But certainly you can write from the perspective of someone else's mind, how they were feeling. The person that's about to open that closed door in the haunted house, what are they thinking of? What are they feeling? What are their senses? You've probably heard it said that when someone is very scared, their senses are heightened. And they are. It's an evolutionary thing. You know, it's the fight or flight thing.
Like with the start as well, Bob, and you hear better and stuff as well.
Yeah.
All that.
Yep. If we have more time, I'll tell you about a story when I came face to face with a bear in the wilds, but I won't. But I certainly heightened my senses. Yeah.
Were you scared?
I was very scared. And I'll tell you something, it's not only bears that do that thing in the woods. When you come face to face with one. Okay. Using the senses. So when describing a story, you want to use, or you should try to use all 5 senses. That's not a rule. First of all, as I said, it's not science. It's not a rule. You don't have to think I'm talking about walking along that lovely beach. Right, let's use all 5 senses. Because you might think, well, how am I going to get taste into this? But try to use more than eyes. We tend to think more visually than in any other sense. But certainly smell is a sense that leads quickest and most evocative way into memory. I don't know why. So certain smells will bring a memory rushing back quicker than any other sense. So at the 5 senses, can we have a go, all of you please, just to write one sentence for each of the 5 senses on the theme of water. And before you think, flipping hell, water. Think of the different types of water there are. Steam, ice, fresh, salty, stagnant, smelly, pure, rushing, still. Could go on. All right? So try for each sentence, try to write a descriptive, each sentence, put a descriptive sentence, please. So I want a couple of adjectives in there if you can, please.
Yeah, so the different states of water as well, Bob. You know, like steam, ice, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Humidity, you know, when it's humid in the air, you know, like the precipitation, stuff like that. There's
Sweat.
loads of different ways you can feel.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bob.
Sweat.
Sweat.
Is water,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So try to stick some adjectives in for each one. 2 or 3 minutes for this, I think, Bruce. Because
Yeah. Right. So we'll just do this. Yeah. 2-3 minutes. 3 minutes most on this. Yeah. If you want to pop any of the ideas into the Q&A, you can do.
I'd be interested to see if anyone can describe what fresh water tastes like. That's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, so if you're, bonus points for anyone who can answer Bob's little question there on what fresh water tastes like.
Did we say nothing, Bob?
Or different opinionated, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
Look, I've just had some. Literally.
That's not fresh, Sophina.
I'm thinking. It doesn't. If you think about your taste buds, there's no taste. But if you say feeling, it feels cold or fresh. But if you're talking about the actual taste, then there's no taste.
Yeah. Satisfied.
Yeah. What? Moist. I
You've got like hard water as well, Bob, don't it? Hard or soft water.
Hot water. Yeah.
Pretty different. Yeah. I don't know.
Do you know why the sea around the UK very, very rarely freezes?
Why?
Because salt water freezes at -4, not 0 degrees. So it has to be colder. So
Right.
I want to think of something like that.
Yeah.
Water fresh and smooth. Nice.
Smooth is a good description, actually.
We've got some from Hartlepool. They've definitely got some hard water from Hartlepool. Sure, that's hard
right.
water.
Oh, hello, Hartlepool, and
Sure.
hello to the monkeys up there.
Mm-hmm.
Payments for the monkeys on the beach up there.
Lily said she can't see us.
Who can't see us?
Lily, she wants to know how to get back on the page. She can't. Lily, go to the webcam thing. And then
Try and have a little look at the top of your screen, Lily, if there's any options for the webcams or anything like that. Or try and, if you're in full screen on the webinar, try and take it out of full screen. Sometimes when it goes into full screen, it kind of moves the webinar webcams around or hearts or stuff like that.
Okay, I want to get some answers in, Bruce.
Yeah.
Has anyone, let's put the senses in. So let's start with sight. Who's got a descriptive sentence for sight?
Right, so we've got Wesley's got one, and it says, "As we drove towards the beach, I saw the blue sea and it looked like blue crystal shining."
Lovely. Yeah. So you've repeated the word blue. Yeah. I mean, you could probably chop that down a bit and just say, sort of like blue crystal, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. So we've got descriptive words there. I mean, all colours are adjectives. All right. So blue, blue is more than one colour, isn't it? There's all sorts of different colours of blue. So what you've done there, you've stuck a simile in with crystal. So I love that. Well done. Who was that? Bruce?
That was Wesley, that was.
Well done, Wesley. What about sound? Who's got one for sound?
Sound. Let's see. Don't think we've got a sound one in there, at the minute.
Okay.
I've got a smell one, though.
Good.
It says, this is from Lucy, "The refreshing fragrance of seawater swimming through my nose, as if I was eating pure salt crystals."
Yeah. Yeah, that's very descriptive, isn't it? Yeah.
Hold on, so
Yeah. I mean, it's very difficult to describe salty water as anything other than salty, isn't it?
yeah.
It's very difficult. I mean, you could think of words like tangy, for instance, sharp. There are other words you can use, but I love that. So, can you read that again for us, Bruce, please?
Yeah, "The refreshing fragrance of seawater swimming through my nose, as if I was eating pure salt crystals."
Yeah, there are others, but yes, some good adjectives and nouns, descriptive words there. Excellent. I want to come back to sound, but have we got anything else?
What else do we need? Do we need a taste one, is it?
Touch and taste.
Right, yeah, so we've got a taste one, the fresh water, refresh my taste buds, Wesley. Oh, water tastes fresh and smooth from Sarah as well.
Right, I like that, actually. That's a bit outside the box. Smooth. I mean, technically, you can say, how can water taste smooth? But I think I know what you mean. I think I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the opposite of rough, isn't it? It makes us feel nice. But Sabina was saying, trying to describe what it's like. It's smooth. It's a nice sensation. So that's good. I like that. Right, just a couple then. Sound and touch.
Have we got any sounds and touches there? Can you see any there, Sabina? I can't seem to see any myself, I don't think.
Come on, someone's in a cave. Someone's in a cave and water's dripping down. And what's it sound like?
Oh, wow, we've just had a couple of big answers through there.
Yeah, Jessica has given us a good long answer, and that's got some.
I think Jessica's give us an answer here, Bob. I've got them all. Do you want me to give this out? It's quite a big answer, though. Would you want it?
With for sound?
It's just, I think it's for all of them, mate.
Oh, great. Yes, please. Yeah.
Right. It says, the salt water and my wetsuit added to my buoyancy as I floated in the tranquility of my natural spa. I felt weightless. Above me, the gulls soared and their wails echoed. Occasionally, a wave lapped over my body and I could taste the salt as my head dipped. The salt smell, is that penance? Permeated my nostrils. And I felt a sudden craving to dive under the water's depths.
Love it.
So I think it's got a bit of a mixed bag of everything in there, you know.
Yeah, that's sorry, was it Jessica, was it?
Jessica, yeah. Good job,
Jessica. Well done, Jessica. Yeah, you're looking at quite a high level there. If you can keep that up, your GCSEs,
Well done,
that's an easy, that sort of level is a very good pass. Very descriptive. Yeah, I was there. I was whale watching with it.
And Jacob said, I can feel the tranquility surrounding the peaceful water.
Great. Tranquility and peaceful. Yeah.
Yeah, well done, Jacob. And he's mentioned the silence as the water just sits. Ooh, I like that.
Just sits.
Yeah, sits on stage.
And the water just sits and stays. I can't read them.
Was that stairs? Is it stairs?
Stage.
I like that, Jacob.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jacob.
I actually went swimming with dolphins once, and I got quite attracted to one of them. Well, became friends actually. We just clicked.
What was that?
Okay.
Mr. John, say it again, please. I just heard something, and then I heard the last bit. We just clicked. So I missed the first bit. You
Me
went.
and dolphin became best friends.
Yeah.
You and a dolphin.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, let's do the poll.
Okay, well, the poll is how do we do?
Everyone did really well in that one.
Spot on. So, not sure. How did we get on with this? Okay, so we've only had 50% of people vote so far, so if we get some more people involved in that poll, that would be great for us to gauge how people are feeling on this. 70%, not bad. Get a few more seconds, and I'll read out the results. Right, so Bob, we've got 57% spot on, 38% so, and 5% not sure. If you're in that 5%, I think it's only one or two people, then please just let us know in the Q&A if there's anything that you can do some help with, or if there's anything you'd like us to go over, or something we go over something at the end of the session, or anything like that. Just let us know if there's anything. I'm just going to close that poll off now, Bob, so we can just carry on.
Yeah, thank you.
Go.
Thanks very much for that. Okay, so let's look at different ways that we can begin our descriptive writing. We've looked at some of the tools or ingredients, whatever you want to call them, that you can put into it. But at some point, we've got to actually start. And you've got a finite amount of time in your exam. So you've got a short amount of time to make an impact. We're not going to look at planning or anything, although I would just say it's vital that you do plan. 5 minutes, during your exam time. Just think of a plan. But then think about how you're going to open your bit of descriptive writing. One of the most common ways is setting the scene. And going back to sort of our Hollywood movies and things again, you think, if you can, the amount of films start off where the camera, if you like, goes across a city or a location, so that us, as the viewer, thinks, right, I know we're in Paris or London or New York or wherever, or in someone's house. So it sets the scene. With a character, it can describe what the character can see, hear, smell, taste, touch, and feel. So it's a way of bringing us, through the character, the emotions that they are feeling in the scene, in the setting. So let's have a look at this. The sun rested warmly on his face like a comforting blanket. We might want to look at what that is later. Stunning beams of light pierced through clouds on the distant horizon, turning the sky an exotic purple. The soft sand beneath his feet, still warm from the day's sunshine, cushioned his steps as he stood gazing across the tranquil turquoise expanse before him. The air carried the faint odour of pine woods and the chattering of unseen birds from the hills behind. So, it's just guess the scene, but I think that's pretty obvious. But I'd like to specifically like to ask the group this. Why do you think that's an effective opening?
Cool. Can we get some ideas in the Q&A first, please? We're just going off, throw some ideas into there, and we'll just discuss through them together. So, why is this scene effective? You know, I mean, Bob started highlighting and, you know, circling some things there, which might be giving us some hints. But really, though, this is all down to, you know, personally, why you think it's affected yourself. So everyone's got different answers for this, really. So, yeah, try and pop some of the answers into the Q&A for us, please. Thank you, Jacob, for your answer. Thank you. Go through someone in a minute.
Okay.
Right, so Bob, we've got Jacob. He said he created a perfect, beautiful picture, and you can practically see it.
Thanks very much, Jacob. Do you know why I think that's a brilliant answer? Because I wrote that, so well done.
Oh, well done, Bob.
Yeah.
Well done, you, Bob. Thanks,
Good.
Jacob.
Okay, and speaking to unseen Jacob at the moment, can you see some of the language techniques that I've used in there? I mean, I know it's difficult with the time lag and everything, but we've got a simile there. Okay, we've got some alliteration. But I think for a descriptive piece of writing, what it's got is I think, some good adjectives in there. Distant horizon turning the sky purple is perfectly adequate. Perfectly adequate description. I think most of us would have seen in the evening the sky turn the colour purple. Yeah. For which there's no rhyme, Safina.
Purple, you can't rhyme a word with purple, guys.
You can't. So, what does using the word exotic make us think about the colour purple? Anybody? Well, doesn't it? Is it a waste of a word, perhaps?
Does the word exotic give any kind of effect to purple? Or just have no...
I'm thinking about purple grapes.
Any kind of idea? Just remember that you can't be wrong here, by the way. Just any ideas.
Let's think of an opposite of that word, or an antonym even. An opposite of exotic. Common or average, perhaps. That certainly wouldn't work if we use that. Exotic, I would suggest, makes it sound rich.
Yeah.
So if it's rich, it's normally special. All right? The soft sand cushioned his steps. What does the word cushioned make us think of?
Any ideas?
Is it difficult to walk
Cushion
on
stands.
if your feet
Right.
cushioned?
Jacob said it creates a comfortable environment and it makes you feel cozy. Yes, Jacob.
Right. Okay, I can't fit comfortable in. I'm going to put cozy. Thank you. Forget that. The chattering of unseen birds. Right?
What does this
What are you
tell?
hearing? What are you hearing in your imaginations? Is that loud? If you're there, are the birds loud?
Any ideas? Oh, do you know, Bob, I'm actually thinking so, yeah. I'm thinking I'm going to be loud. Do you know, Bob?
You think so?
I'm pitching
Okay.
on.
Yeah,
Wow,
as I said,
okay.
you can't be wrong. Yeah. Are they clear?
Is it clear? Any ideas? Well, if you're reading this, sorry, actually, yeah, we've got it. Don't just have your answer there. Just you're saying a medium volume, but at a distance. Do we think they're clear? Most of you think they're clear?
Was that Jessica again?
Other Jess, you got one.
Jess. Yeah, Jess. I think so. I think that's like almost like a white noise, background noise. So I wouldn't say it's too noisy, but I wouldn't say it's too quiet. It's something that's in the background. So what we've got by using these two words here, and this is your words from you, the class, you come out with rich and cozy. That's a special place. It's rich and cozy, isn't it? It's not a nasty place to be.
No.
So setting a scene, it's a nice place. Let's sum it up with that. Okay, I'm going to move on. I touched on this earlier, actually, when I talked about Hollywood movies and things. Making the reader think. Sometimes openings encourage the reader to think and guess. Like I said, why did we pick this night to do it? You're immediately, as a reader, thinking, to do what? And you also, just by the sort of rhetorical question, you think, well, look, I'm guessing something bad happened. Someone used the word hook earlier. So very good. So let's look at this. If only they'd listened to me. Hopefully you're reading that and thinking, oh no, what happened?
What's going on here? Hey, Bob.
If only they'd taken me seriously sooner. So now I'm pretty certain something bad's happened. If it wasn't for me, none of this would have happened. Uh-oh. We'd still all be perfectly happy living at home. So you see, we talked about tension. Right, that's got a comma in it, but we're still relatively short sentences there. I'd do anything to go back to 2 months ago, where my only concern was whether or not me and my dad and I actually, would win the weekly Saturday night television channel fight. So now we've got a longer, more complex sentence. Okay? Before, I couldn't think of anything worse than having to watch a predictable, trashy, over-the-top soap. Now I'd do anything to go back. So we have, from about here to here, we've got much more information. And then we're back to the short sentence again. So something bad has happened there. And it must be really bad if he wants to go back to a boring Saturday night TV session.
Would be really bad, Bob, if he wants to go back to watching the show.
Yeah. I've explained it myself, really. I've said what was good about this opening paragraph and why is it an effective opening. As I said, we're rushing to finish on time, but make the reader think, if that's what you want to do. If you're trying to put some mystery and suspense into your creative writing, don't come out with the answer in the first paragraph.
Okay.
I remember reading a piece once. It started with, it began, on the face of it, it seemed like the sensible thing to do. Already that's a mystery, isn't it?
No, what? It's like what? And then that makes you kind of ask what, or question it.
And what it was someone who experienced an earthquake. And they'd read that if you're in a building during an earthquake, the safest place to stand is under a door frame.
Okay.
If you think of collapsed buildings, the strongest bit normally is the concrete or steel.
That's always still standing as the door frame, isn't it?
Called a lintel, yeah. And that was his thing. On the face of it, it seemed like a sensible thing to do.
Oh,
So,
but it wasn't.
who knows?
Who knows? See, ask questions.
Another great way to start, especially if you've got characters, and if you've decided to have a piece, to write a piece with characters, I would suggest you put, your teachers have probably told you this, look at a maximum probably of about 3 characters, really. Because in the time you've got to write, you really haven't got the time to introduce more than 2 or 3 characters and give them any sort of flesh to make them interesting. You know, you can say there were, you know, you were in a group, you were in a party, and there were 100 people there. Of course, you can say that, but try not to introduce characters that you have to describe more than 2 is a nice number, actually.
Yeah, 2, I'd say 2's okay, and then just generalise everyone else.
Well, do you remember going back to one of the first things we looked at? What can we bring in, beginning with C, the 2 people you can explore with 2 people?
Ooh. Is the next letter afterwards an C-O-N?
It is. Yeah, C-O-N,
Any
yeah.
ideas? What can we do with our 2 characters to have more effect? Share, yes, we can have contrast.
We can have contrast.
More of an effect than having 3 characters with no contrast.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a student Monday that very quickly sketched out an idea, and he put contrast in there. And I don't think he was even thinking of contrast, actually. He talked about 2 people on the beach, and one of them was very athletic. I think they were brothers, I think he said. One was very athletic and an excellent swimmer and everything, and the other one was more sort of bookish, a little bit weedy, could only just about swim. And you can make a story from that. And he put it that the weedy brother got into trouble and the good swimmer went out and rescued him. Now, that would make a perfectly good little story. But I would suggest if you did it the other way round, you've got much more drama. Imagine if it was the good swimmer brother that got into trouble and it was the weedy poor swimmer that rescued him.
So,
then you've got a story, haven't you?
Got a proper story on your hands then, do you know what I mean? It's like expectations of characters and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. What you've done is you've inverted, or you've turned over the expectations. Yeah. And Hollywood does it all the time. All the time. Yeah. How many times have you seen a Hollywood movie where there's a man and a woman, and there's a great big one of these Hollywood fights and everything like that, and it ends up with, it's the woman that has stereotypically had been hiding behind a desk or something like that while the bloke's getting beaten up, and she comes out unexpectedly, gives a load of karate kicks and does them all over. I can think of a dozen films where that sort of pastiche has happened. So let's have a look at action and dialogue. Right? If you start with action and dialogue, you'll bring in the reader straight into the story. You don't have to set the scene. There's a sense of urgency. Let's have a look at this. This is a bit Hollywoody, actually. So we know we've got some characters here. Did you hear that? Screeched Natalie. There's one. What? Whispered Poppy. Her voice noticeably cracking.
There's always like
What's that?
That was my boss off. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Whispered Poppy, her voice noticeably cracking. There it is again. It's a sort of whooshing, crunching sound. Do you think something's following us? Stuttered Natalie. Sensing that Natalie, who she knew was of a nervous disposition, was beginning to tremble, Poppy announced confidently, "Oh, it's probably just the wind." I don't think it's the wind. Well, maybe it's a squirrel or something," said an irritated Poppy. But squirrels don't have hands," she said, sheer terror in her voice. "Something's got my leg." Poppy froze. Paralysing fear replaced all other emotions within an instant as realisation hit. They were not alone. It's a little miniature film in about a dozen lines there. So I'd like to ask the people out there, what language features, what ingredients for our cake have we got in that little paragraph?
Yeah, so what can we see in here? What can we kind of techniques can we see here? Just get a few ideas into the Q&A for us, please.
Don't forget punctuation.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Bob, we've only got a few minutes left here.
Yeah, I can see that, mate. I'm going to make this the last thing.
That's spot on.
Yeah.
Adverbs,
Who said that?
Jacob.
Okay, you'll have to tell me where there's an adverb.
Sarah said a nervous disposition.
Yeah, that's a bit of descriptive writing. Yeah. But we're going back to adverbs. Where's the adverbs?
Jacob will get back to screech and whispered.
They're adjectives.
Adjectives. Oh, do you know what?
Yeah,
Pretty close there, though, Jacob. That's it. You know what, though? You're still on the right tracks there, mate. Thanks for your answer.
Lots of adjectives, aren't there? Screeched, whooshing, crunching. We've got onomatopoeia there, haven't we? For those we haven't mentioned that.
Just remember their adjectives instead of adverbs, Jacob. You'll probably end up remembering them, not because of that anyway, mate. Okay, thanks for that. We got ellipsis from Lucy. Leave us hanging on.
Yeah, where's that? All over the place, isn't it? Yeah, we've got them there, there. So we know that there's a dramatic pause there. Something hasn't been finished.
Where's Lisa said no, like overall suspense?
Overall suspense. What have we got here? And what have we got there?
Oh, Team Prime Numbers from Twitter says descriptive speech.
There is descriptive speech, yeah, because that's where we use the adjectives. What are those things I've underlined?
Any ideas?
I've said it more than once.
Okay.
Come on, team. Only got a minute.
You said it more than once, you give it away. Mike says the punctuation has been used.
Yeah, I mean, we've got things there. We've got colon there. We've got speech marks. Obviously, the ellipses. I have to stand back to see if there's any more. Yeah, well, that's enough in a short piece like that. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that might be a good place to finish it.
You happy with that, Bob?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'd like to look a bit more feedback on this one, because in order to write descriptively, you have to be able to recognise where other people have written descriptively. So you can look at something like that and think, I know why this is good, therefore I could use repetition in my piece. If I'm doing someone who's nervous, maybe I'll leave sentences unfinished with ellipses. Yeah. This is unusual. You know, put it in all caps. And a short sentence. I mean, there's a classic short sentence there. Poppy froze. Okay, I'll make that hang on, Bruce.
Okay, alright, so we've just come up to 2:30 there. Bobby's going to leave the CTs, yeah? Do you want to throw the CT link up, or?
Is Gavin still on the...
Gav's still here, Gav. Gav is here, yeah. Gav?
Well, we haven't covered everything. But, you know,
we haven't covered that, and he did say that he didn't get to it.
If we didn't get to it, he said that you don't have to.
Okay, alright, that's fine then. Okay, well, everyone, thanks for joining the session today. We understand that in the sessions there's a fair bit of content that we get through in a good amount of time, but that's what we try and do, as much information, as much stream do for you in the time that we've got with you. If there's any other questions that you've got now, or anything else that you want to talk to us about, anything like that, feel free to pop in the Q&A, or feel free to hang around if you want to ask us anything that you've done. But other than that, I hope you've enjoyed the session. You'll be sent feedback links afterwards. Feel free to leave feedback, like our feedback today, show us how to do all the stuff like that, all the good stuff. But yeah, other than that, thanks very much for
thank you.
joining.
Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed your lesson.
Well, all our content, all our chatting, all that. So yeah, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for coming. Thank you all the teachers. Shout out to the teachers there as well, and the carers and all that. Parents who are sitting there and helping the learners. Thank you. Thank you all. Hope to see you on a course in the future. Maybe even in person, Bob.
Let's hope so. Just remember, the light at the end of the tunnel is a train coming. That's what I was always told.
Yeah, run, duck, dive, roll, guys, if you haven't got any questions in there at the minute, so I think everyone's kind of alright. But if you do, and you're hanging around, feel free to pop them in for us. We look forward to getting any questions or any comments. Busy in the office today, Bob?
No.
Quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Jessica.
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. I liked your input.
Thank you, Jessica.
See, it's Gav there. I moved Gav over to panelist, and as I did that, it unmuted them, so that's why I have to put him on mute really quick. Gav?
We've had a few things now. Some of the
Yeah, he's still talking to someone else, I think.
I can't find my panelist. It's gone. Just disappeared from this list. What's that? No question. Panelist there?
You should be a panelist. He says
Oh,
you're all
sorry.
right still.
It's weird.
Right. Is anyone needing to come and talk to us or anything? Or any of that kind of stuff?
I can't see the panelist anymore.
We don't have any learners left. When it says
Oh.
they're not in the brackets, it means that it means
Oh, attendees.
They all gone.
Yeah, attendees is just one. Lucy, offline.
Good job, Mr. Roberts said he was a teacher, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You've got the same name as me.
You can have an extra point.
Well done, Robert.
Yeah, I apologise for patronising. He's probably head of English somewhere.
Head of Department of English or something in the whole school, sort of thing, like, oh yeah, I've got one FXI, please. What was that? Let's see, it's Claire just playing, come on, Sam, to Gav, I don't know whether Gav's there. I don't know.
Yeah, Gav is there actually, panelist.
Gav! Oh, my legs get so, I need to stretch so much after sitting.
Oh no, this chair I'm sitting on is not comfortable at all.
Do you know if I have the space to move around or something?
I need to stop moaning on it to stand up for the last hour and a half.
I actually wouldn't mind that a little bit, you know, because it keep me more active and stuff like that, you know what I mean? If I had the space for it, I'd definitely 100% do for both.